This is different. Now, the other thing that was interesting about this is we were using something called Popcorn Initiative, and this is something that um, Glyph suggests using. Basically, if I grab all these peeps and I throw them into combat, here we go. There is here they are in the Foundry combat tracker. But over here, I have this Popcorn Initiative mod installed. So I go ahead and I hit that, and okay, hold on. Let's see. I think I have to do this and this. There we go. So we have them loaded into two different initiative bars, essentially. Now, you only need the real initiative bar for the first roll. So basically, if I go over here and I roll everybody in, uh, of course, for this example, everybody gets the same flippant initiative. But whoever has the highest initiative starts the combat. So we'll say that Constance has the highest one. So Constance takes her turn. She starts the battle. When her turn is over, she gets to decide who goes next. So I mark her as having acted, and she disappears from the tracker. So Constance starts punching the monster, and she says, "Okay, um, well, all right. So let's say they're having the fight, and she punches the monster. She could then pass play to somebody else who she thinks would be able to act tactically in the battle. Now, here's the cool thing about it. You can't just dogpile somebody. If you take damage during popcorn initiative combat, at the end of the action of the turn that damaged you, you can interrupt if you haven't already acted in initiative. So if she punches this undead owlbear, the undead owlbear can basically interrupt and take the initiative away because it got damaged. And then it can either start fighting back or doing something else. But the cool thing is that unless you damage somebody, they can't normally interrupt combat. So there was a cool scene where they ran into this owlbear in this narrow passageway, and the owlbear was obviously very strong, and they didn't want to, they didn't want to die here in these narrow corridors. So when combat started, rather than attacking the owlbear, they started running away. So like Constance started running away, and then she passed play to Jojo. Jojo ran away, and he passed play to Evelyn. Evelyn passed play to this homunculus, who then passed play to Thil, and only then did the owlbear get to act. So then the owlbear comes, squeezing down the hallway to try and get them. And now the owlbear has to choose one of the good guys, because it's a solo monster, it's all by itself, to act. So then the owlbear decides, like, oh, okay, I guess I will choose Evelyn to start, right? So then we go to the next round, and then Evelyn has to decide what she's going to do. Well, now she wants the owlbear to get closer to everybody, so she's going to start holding an action for a spell, move here where she could see down this hallway, and then she's going to pass play to the owlbear, hoping that the owlbear will continue down the hallway. So now the owlbear, even though it went like two turns ago, it gets to go again. So now the owlbear continues crawling its way down the hallway, but as it gets closer, she can now anticipate that it was coming and blast it with her magic. Now the owlbear's turn is over, and it has to pass play to somebody else. And in that way, you're able to do so much more with combat than you normally could. I was excited about this initiative when I ran it, or sorry, when I read it. When I ran it, I was like, this is it. This is the stuff right here. Like, this is really good stuff. And after every encounter, we stopped because we were playtesting, and we talked about what had happened and how we felt about it and all that. And even in the first fight against the Mimic, everybody was like, I don't know how I feel about the Popcorn Initiative because it's so new, but I feel like it's going to be pretty good. After the Owlbear fight, everybody was like, this is really good. Like, this is a really good mechanic. And I am 100% on board for it. I would love to use this mechanic in every game I run, even a non-Giphy Glyphs game, because I think it is that interesting of a combat initiative system. Now, I know there are a lot of alternative systems out there. Covil has one that is based on second edition, where different actions have speeds associated with them, and your speed during combat shifts constantly. I'm not about all that. I don't want to have to track all of that stuff. I like this because it is so interactive and requires teamwork and planning. It also ruins it for players like me. So in a game where I'm a player, I will, with my wireless, from wearing my wireless headset, I will take my turn, and then I will get up and I will leave, because I know that it's going to be about 10 or 15 minutes before my turn comes back. And the worst thing that's probably going to happen is I get attacked by something. And I could just say, yep, that hits, or nope, that doesn't hit, and then that's fine. With this system, I found that everyone was constantly engaged because they had to collectively be like, who should go next? Who should go next? And they had to constantly make decisions as a group tactically. Should we have the owlbear go now? Should we wait? When should we act? When should we should we retreat? Should we be defensive this round? There was so much more table talk. There was so much more planning. There was so much more thinking going on. Instead of like, I'll wait patiently for my turn to come around. Doop de doop. It also prevented things from like a bad initiative roll, right? So 16 goblins and they all win initiative. So they all run up to the wizard and they just beat the wizard to death. And that's the first round of combat. This it wouldn't happen with this because 15 goblins doesn't matter. Only one person can win initiative. So the goblins win initiative. They want to go kill the wizard. The first one runs up. They stab the wizard real hard. Wizard doesn't have a lot of hit points. Wizard's like, "Oh my god, I have been stabbed." And I'm like, well, you were damaged. You want to go next in combat? Of course I want to fucking go next in combat. There's 15 goblins. So now the wizard can misty step out of there, or can disengage even and get out of there and throw up a mage armor or whatever they need to do. And because they didn't damage anybody, now they can pass play to the party tank, who can run up and try and get in the way to prevent the rest of the goblins from getting to the wizard. So like, you can't do that with normal initiative, but with popcorn initiative, you could do that. And that's what is so fascinating to me. I am excited to see some of the stuff that people do with this initiative system. So popcorn initiative from Giphy Glyphs, it's not just from Giphy Glyphs, but the popcorn initiative was awesome. And it is cool that there is a mod to help manage that popcorn initiative as well. So very, very excited about it. I like it quite a bit.